Britain Remade is a new pro-growth campaign that wants to speed up the time it takes to build new sources of clean energy, build new public transport, and build new homes. So I was the Prime Minister's advisor on energy and the environment, doing net zero for nearly 3 years. And over that time, I worked on a few key pieces of work, including the 10-point plan for a green industrial revolution and the net zero strategy. And the central focus on both of those was unlocking the opportunities from the clean energy transition. And we made some good progress, increasing the target, for example, for offshore wind up to 50 gigawatts, which, if we do achieve it, will more than treble the amount of offshore wind that we have in this country. But the only way that we're going to do that is if we cut those planning times, and that's one thing that we weren't able to do then, but that I'm hopeful that we will be able to do over the next few years with Britain Remade. So we've had some great conversations with local residents. We've also had a couple of factory visits, and this afternoon I've been up at the amazing offshore wind testing facility in Blythe, seeing them put 100-metre blades through their paces. And offshore wind is obviously such an incredibly important sector for the region. It supports thousands of jobs in the UK, and last year we generated a record amount of our electricity from wind. But it takes far too long to build new wind turbines in this country. Currently, onshore wind is banned in England. We think that that ban should be lifted. And offshore wind, it takes far too long because of our onerous planning system. If we can cut the time it takes to build new offshore wind turbines, then we can cut people's bills and we can create more good jobs here in the North East. We've released some new polling today that show that 85% of people in the northeast of England would support more onshore wind in their area. They want to lift the ban in England, and there's a very good reason for that. They know that it's the cheapest source of power. They know that rolling out more wind turbines means cheaper bills, it means greater energy security for the country, and it means more jobs, as I say, right here in the northeast. I was making this argument in number 10, but there was someone else who was making this argument in number 10. That was the Prime Minister. And I think you saw from the publications and what that government delivered, as I say, in the Green Industrial Revolution, in the 10-point plan for a Green Industrial Revolution, and in the net zero strategy, the government's commitment to the transition. Look, the UK has got a great record in tackling climate change. We were the first country to set a net zero target. Thanks to our leadership at COP, over 90% of the world now has a net zero target. We've reduced our emissions by nearly half since 1990, while growing our economy by more than 2/3. But we've got to go further, and we've got to go faster now. The US have got their Inflation Reduction Act. The EU are making moves in this way as well. China last year added more renewable energy capacity than our entire electricity grid. So if we want to make the most of the economic opportunities of this transition, we've got to move now. The only way that we're going to get the change that we need and unlocking the planning system to get those new sources of clean energy built is with a cross-party movement, and we're working with people from right across the political spectrum as part of that, and we'll soon be announcing something in this space. Watch this space. They have been, and one of the really heartening things when we launched was to receive messages of support from people from the Labour Party, from the Liberal Party, right across the political spectrum. People, I think, realise that there is a need for a movement in British politics like Britain Remade. I'd say within 3 years it looks like building a large enough movement to be able to influence policy. In 5 years it looks like that policy actually having changed, and in 10 years it looks like the country actually having changed.